Welcome to another Ziva Math video. In this video, we're going to learn about multiplying whole numbers, specifically how to multiply double-digit numbers. Let's take a look at our examples. In this example, we're multiplying 34 times 12. And when we multiply by a two-digit number, we start our multiplication steps off in the ones place. We're going to multiply 34 times 2. And we're going to do that by multiplying our ones digits first. So 2 times 4 is 8. Our next step is going to be multiplying 2 times the 3. But remember, that's not really a 3. That 3 represents 30. But we're going to multiply it as if it were a 3 in our steps of our multiplication problem. So 2 times 3 is 6. Now that I've multiplied everything by 2, I'm going to cross the 2 out because I've used it. And now I'm going to be multiplying by the 1. But that's not really a 1, it's really 10. And because it's 10, that's why we're placing the 0 here in our problem. Because we're not multiplying 34 times 1, we're multiplying it by 10. And we take that 10 into account by placing this 0. So that in our steps, we can think about our steps as being 1 times 4 because we start back in the ones place again. So 1 times 4 is 4. Then we have 1 times 3, and 1 times 3 is 3. Another thing to note here is that I've been keeping all of my digits lined up because our next step is to add. And if you keep everything lined up, then it's much easier to add your numbers together. So I have 8 plus 0 is 8. I have 6 plus 4 is 10. And when I go to regroup, note where I place the 1. I'm placing the 1 over the 3. I'm in the addition portion of my problem. And 3 plus 1 is 4. So my product is 408. In this example, I have 65 times 83, and I start my multiplication steps by multiplying by the 3, and I'm going to be multiplying 3 times 5. I'm multiplying in my ones digits. So 5 times 3 is 15, and when I go to regroup, I'm placing that 1 above the 6. My next step is to multiply 3 times 6. I'm multiplying the 3 by everything before I move on to the 8. So 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 more is 19. Now I have used the 3, I'm going to cross it out. I've used the 1, I can cross it out. And in my next step, I'm going to be multiplying by the tens place. And because I'm going to be multiplying by the tens place, I'm placing the 0 here. So my next step is going to be multiplying the 65 by the 8. But it's not really 8, it's really 80. But we've placed that 0 and we've taken into account that we're multiplying by 80. And we can do our multiplication here by just thinking about the 8 as being 8. And we go back to the ones place in 65 and we start with 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. We place our 0. We regroup with the 4. Then we're at 8 times 6. 8 times 6 is 48. And we add the 4 that we just carried. 48 plus 4 is 52. Again, note that I've lined everything up, ones and tens in my problem, and then all of my digits as I've done my multiplication steps. Because our next step is to add. And if you're keeping everything lined up, then you won't make mistakes in your addition by having your numbers in the wrong place. So we're going to add 5 plus 0. 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 0 is 9. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 5 plus 0 is 5, for a product of 5,395. In this example, we're multiplying 28 by 47. When we start our multiplication steps, we're going to be multiplying 28 by the 7. And we'll start in the ones digit with 8 times 7. 8 times 7 is 56. And when we carry our 5 and regroup, we're going to place it above the 2 because that's what I'm going to be multiplying by next. So we have 7 times 2, which is 14. Then we add the 5. 14 plus 5 is 19. Now I have used the 7, so I'll cross it out. I've used the 5, I'll cross it out as well. And I'm going to be placing a 0 here in my problem because my next step is to be multiplying by the 4. But that 4 is actually 40. And when we place the 0, we're taking into account that we're multiplying by 40. So then in our steps, we can just think about that 4 as multiplying by 4. And we go back to the ones digit in 28 and we multiply 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. So we place our 2 and we regroup by carrying the 3 and placing it above the 2. Then we'll be multiplying 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 3 that we carried is 11. Now, our next step is to add, and if you've been keeping your digits lined up, your addition step is much easier to do as your numbers are all in the correct place. So we have 6 plus 0 is 6, 9 plus 2 is 11, and I am regrouping, and notice where I put that 1, I put it over my next column of addition. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So my product is 1,316. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to Ziva Math for more videos.